Oh, hi there. I wanted to talk about how there's something definitely wrong with my social atmosphere. Um, it is very evident. It doesn't matter who I talk to, whether it be on the internet, whether it be in person, whether it be wherever. It's always dumbed down to the point of gross absurdity. I do grow increasingly frustrated, um, and I lash out on mostly on social media. Like I'll have arguments with people who I do not consider my intellectual equal, and I get bored of those forums and I leave them quite quickly. Not before making some very good friends, by the way. Um, yeah, they don't like me very much. I don't like them, so it's all about just moving on and trying to make the best of your situation. But there's some sort of social network going on, and I'm a very not informed person. Nobody tells me anything. I get the butt end of every story, and when people talk to you in that manner, it's because they're shafting you. And they don't want to explain that they're shafting you. They just want you to sit there, suck it up, and keep going forward. Whether it's like mental health goons, work, friends, family, whatever, everywhere I go, people are like that. They talk to me like I'm stupid all the time. Uh, and it actually wouldn't be that difficult for me to just sort of regress and kind of go into a zombie-like state, like because I suffer from chronic fatigue and severe tiredness. Like when I get tired, that's it. It doesn't matter. There's nothing I can do. Coffee, energy drinks, none of that stuff works. And that's it. I go to sleep. And when I wake up, I'm super groggy every day, no matter what I do. Super dehydrated as well, actually. I think that has something to do with medication I was on. Not anymore. And the thing is, like, in the morning, I don't usually have time to do anything. Like, I go on the computer and I try to relax by listening to music that I normally listen to. Like I go through phases of what songs I want to hear, and usually it's only about 10, 15 songs at any given time, and then I alternate in a few weeks, a few days, whatever. It all depends if I hear something new or if I remember something that I liked before and I want to hear it again, usual kind of stuff. But the problem is, when you listen to this music, because almost all music is not very intelligent. It isn't. It's there for just as something to comfort you, to help you relax. Um, but it's not a complicated message. I don't have the time to sit down and watch intelligent programming. Not that I think there is much intelligent program to be watched on media. Everything has sort of a stupid slant to it, and a lot of things waste your time. Um, and then that coupled with the fact the way people talk to me everywhere I go. And this is everywhere I go. And I mean, my movements are quite predictable. Um, I don't get it. It's like there's got to be some sort of social network where people don't talk to me about much anyway, but especially about anything that would be outside of the realm of normal conversation. Like if I was to bring this up with anybody in the real world, they would dismiss it. And they basically belittle my argument and they call me an idiot. Yeah, except I have, what, 6.5 years experience dealing with this kind of shit, and you don't? So fuck off. You're either lying or you don't know. Anyway, like I'm real tired of it, man. It's a bunch of bullshit. Um, I'm tired of being treated like an animal. Um, really getting pushed around in a real mean-spirited, vicious, underhanded sort of way. And the reason people don't talk to me proper, and I'm sure they do it to other people too, is because they're shafting, well, me, and they do it to other people too. They don't want to explain themselves, and they know they can't if it ever came to a real conversation. That's why I don't have real conversations with people, is because there's no open dialogue. It's not this way, that way. It's them pounding home their simplistic narrative, their dogmatic view, and it's their right, it's their rhetoric, and I can't argue against it, even though they're wrong. And they probably know they're wrong too. Um, but you know, I can't get through to people. I mean, you can take a donkey to water, but you can't make it drink. Um, it is growing frustration in me that this problem isn't going to go away. I'm basically a prisoner without cell doors. The severe limitation I have because of my throat, um, the tiredness, the fatigue, chronic. Nobody wants to believe me. I try and tell people, and it's just like they don't even care what I have to say. They're so petty. It's all about their immediate needs and their whiny crybaby problems. So I try not to complain about it. I go, they don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you. Um, yeah, that all being said, I have made videos where I'm saying life isn't normal. I've brought up examples of why there's this obsessive compulsive atmosphere around me where people always act in a certain way. And I think it's more common than people want to admit, but I'm cognizant of it. I know that's exactly what's going on. And a lot of other people, they're not aware of it. They're in their little bubbles, and they don't know. Particularly people who are mentally challenged, and that is a very vicious thing to do to someone like that. But people do it, and they justify it. They say it's right to talk to this person this way because it's just the easiest way to deal with them. And really, it's not to the person's benefit. I feel real bad for mentally challenged individuals who are talked to in a certain manner. I think the people that are around them are very vicious people, and they may put on smiles, they may, you know, have a pleasant demeanor, but really, that's just a mask. They're really just vicious people behind it, and I wish they wouldn't do that. Um, because I could see my social atmosphere, the obsessive compulsiveness around me, the way people talk to me, and me just never living a normal life, me never getting out into the real world and, you know, living life the way I want to live it. It may never happen because people, they put their mechanisms of control in, and they're obsessive compulsive, and you just cannot make them talk. Um, with that being said, they can do that. They can act their way. They can say what limited things they do say to me, and it isn't gonna change what I think. And if they think they can mold me, condition me into accepting my life as what it is, and it's as good as it's ever gonna get, and I should just pedal on and just keep going, and that's it, just accept life, don't want the better things, then they're uh, they're gonna get more than they bargained for. Um, Plenty of legitimate ways to undermine them, particularly mental health. I know those bastards aren't gone, and they may never leave. Probably never gonna leave. I asked for a letter of discharge. I did not get it. I may never get it. As of now, I'm not on medication. Haven't been on for months, and I feel better. Not exactly where I want to be, but better. And in the next few months, I'm hoping that gets even better and even better, and then really I can get into my social media. If I'm not going to be invited into the world, then so be it. I've got some tricks up my sleeve, and I'll be perfectly fine. Yeah, it's just some of these concepts I bring up. I don't blame some people for going, I have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's probably because they're in bubbles of their own. They've been talked to by the people around them in a certain manner their whole lives, but they just didn't realize it. They didn't understand. And they may never understand. They may never feel compelled to learn what it is exactly that's going on around in their lives. And the people that inhibit their ability to learn, that put barriers around them, invisible ones, and then they simply deny that they're there, and they also control the atmosphere of the conversation so that you can't get around it. They create mechanisms to dismantle any form of conversation you can have with them without them using their sociological weapons against you, keeping you stupid, keeping you in the dark, treating you like a mushroom, and feeding you shit. They like to make the rules, and they like to tell other people what to do. And they don't like it when they're contradicted. I don't blame them, but I don't talk to people like they're stupid. I try not to anyway. I would prefer not to. Whereas they can't win an argument if they have to talk to you exactly the way things are. If they have to open up about the conversation as a whole, the topic as a whole. They have to restrict any information that contradicts their argument. Because if they don't do that, they know they're not going to win the argument. Therefore, they are not more intelligent than you. You are suffering from what is called limited intelligence. It means you're not stupid, but the world around you prevents you from expanding your knowledge and learning from everything. Your mistakes, your successes, everything. It just prevents you from doing that. And that's a low down, dirty, underhanded way to fight somebody. You're a sniveling coward. I ain't got no respect for you. If that's how you fight, by putting an invisible box around somebody's head, and then maybe you put certain social stimuli in that box so that the person feels content with his environment, but really he's getting shafted, which could be the case with me, except I've gotten very little intellectual stimulation, I must add. Nothing I didn't earn myself. I know there are going to be people out there who are going to intentionally misconstrue my words. They're intentionally going to interpret them wrong because they're on the defensive. They look bad. They know they wronged me. And they know it's only a matter of time before things change. And when they do, we'll see who's the king of the mountain. Because one thing I can guarantee is it's not going to be them. If it isn't me, it's not going to be them. Some people in my position would be a lot more angry than I am. I'm not very angry, as it were. I don't think angry thoughts. I don't get mad about certain things. I mean, sure, everyone gets annoyed about certain things, But as far as, stomping up and down and yelling and screaming and swearing and all that sort of stuff, I don't do that. As a matter of fact, the assholes who like to judge me, that's what they do. And I don't have to see it to know it. The people around them see it and know it. And not all of them are friends. So in a sense, me sitting here talking on YouTube, talking about my social media, coming up with some theories I've got to discuss, contradicting them, undermining them, I'm winning and I'm standing right here. Well, actually, I'm sitting, but you get what I'm saying. I'm rather successful in life, I think, and a lot of people didn't want that for me. A lot of people wanted me to fail miserably. That is the reality. They did not want me to succeed. And they put every hurdle they could in front of me to keep me from doing this. And unfortunately, social media is the only platform I have where I can properly articulate my words so that I can discuss this with people. Because in the real world, they use mechanisms to end the conversation, walk out of the room, this, that, and the other, whatever they do. Everyone does that. In fact, my dad, whenever I go to talk to him about anything, he shuts me up like 20 seconds in. He always does. And that's because he's a stupid old bastard, to tell you the truth. Really, really shut in and really, I mean, yeah, a lot of things I don't like. But I will succeed where others in my situation have failed. That's the difference between me and them. I feel bad for those people who failed because they get put in a place where it's their own version of hell. And yeah, nothing I can do for them though. It's unfortunately I have to think about number one. I have to get out of my situation because, as it were, I may not even be able to save myself. I don't even think about fucking helping anyone else. Um, yeah. Well, it's actually a surprisingly warm day and not really great weather for wearing a hoodie, but I just felt like wearing a hoodie, so should probably go have a shower, get into my whatever routine. Yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.